And joining us this morning, Dr. Haggai Levine, who is the head of the Medical and Resilience Team for the Hostages and Missing Families Forum. Doctor, thank you so very much for being with us. You've been meeting with several of the now former hostages. What are you learning about what they went through 7 weeks?
I'm on my way to visit Elma Avraham and her family in Soroka Medical Center here in Beersheba, in the south of Israel. I can tell you that she was not well treated. In terms of medical condition, she did not receive the essential medications that she needs, including a medication for thyroid function. And she arrived to Israel in life-threatening condition. She was hypothermic with 28 Celsius degrees, which is 82 Fahrenheit degrees, and she was in shock. She needed immediate intensive treatment. She was ventilated. Now, after several days in the Soroka Medical Center intensive care unit and good treatment, she's slightly improving. She's now conscious, and we hope for good news. I also know from her bruises on her body, she was dragged like a sack of potato. She was handcuffed. She was not well treated in terms of her basic needs. There are chemical burns on her body. So this is outrageous. This is something that no human being should suffer from. And we also know from some of the other hostages stories that were released today about not only poor diet and lack of light, but also threats and violence against them. So that's really horrible. And all the hostages must get released. And for the meantime, for the very least, get Red Cross visits to allow them proper care.
Which has not happened as of today. There has been no proof of life even, much less Red Cross being able to visit with these men, women, and children. And we're talking about even some very, very young children. Doctor, that you have spoken to and that you have seen with your own eyes, what's some of the physical conditions that these hostages were subjected to?
Well, I'm an epidemiologist. You know, I met and I heard about people with lice that did not take shower for 50 days, that were not given proper diet, that were under not only stress because of their conditions, but also were under threat all the time. So it's very difficult, and I'm trying to be sensitive here. I'm with the families all the time. They are so worried. We know that among the hostages are young babies from Kfir, who is 10 months old now. I know that today the release will be mostly of women, less children, as far as I know from the messages that the families got. And I hope that those who will arrive today will not be as a poor condition as was Elma Avraham. The recovery process is going to be very long because they have physical, medical, mental, and dietary needs that we need to slowly fulfill and help them with the families, with the excellent interdisciplinary medical teams to help them recover.
And Doctor, you know, and we're seeing some of the hostages that have been released. These, you know, on Monday, we have 34-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 11 and 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds. Every single one of them are having a different psychological trauma manifestation, depending on their age and what they have lived through. But so much has been heaped upon them, so much pain, suffering, uncertainty, and violence. Many of them, and I'm thinking of the 4-year-old Abigail, the Israeli-American girl, who actually witnessed her mother being killed, her father being killed before she was taken away. I'm just wondering, Doctor, how are these psychological traumas going to be dealt with?
So the principles is to be personal for each one of them. There are different needs. To be professional, we know from the literature some of the things that are helpful and important, such as to get them to be active, to get back control over the life, of course, different for different people, as we said, personal, and to be patient. It will take time. It's not something you can do at once. They need to regain trust. One of the family members told today how his family member affects. She doesn't have an effect. She speaks like a third person, like it happened to someone else. Because understand, as you said, these people were abducted. They saw people murdered, their family, beloved, murdered in front of their house, burned. They underwent genocide. So we need to go back to Holocaust survivors to learn from the literature how to treat them. For some of them, they don't have home to return to. Some of them don't have a family to return to. And some of them, they release the mothers, but the fathers are still there. The children, they not only need their mothers, they also need their fathers. They are afraid what is going on with them. So how can they start the recovery process when their father is not with them? Yeah. So that's very difficult. I met with Yocheved Lifshitz. She told me, and she's an amazing, resilient woman, and she wants now to help the other families and hostages, but she misses her husband, Oded, who is still in there. So that's something that, again, I see your empathy, and I know the support we get from all around the world is very encouraging for the families. They know that they are not alone, but the world must continue to pressure on Hamas, on Qatar. The world leaders should speak up like Biden is doing to let them go now, to release all the hostages, to continue this process as quickly as possible for all of them.
Doctor, you mentioned that you're having to learn from and utilize lessons learned from the Holocaust. I mean, just the perspective of what that means. And I'm just wondering, Doctor, separating yourself from your professional responsibilities, how do you as a human being process this?
Well, I come from a family of Holocaust survivors. I well remember my grandmother, Anna, who told me that her father, before he was murdered by the Nazis, told her that it's like a seed that now many are murdered, but it will refill the entire field. So I think that I derive strength from the global support, but from the solidarity. That one of the hostage told the Hamas, don't release me, release her before me, because she is in poorer condition. So I think that this bravery and heroism and solidarity, and we know in a perspective that even the darkest hour you can overcome. As a society, we are stronger together and we can overcome. So I derive strength from that, from the historical perspective, and from the support. I just attended today a meeting of the leaders of the Israeli health system, and all shared our experience, hospitals and HMOs, and in the public health system, and my experience as the head of the medical team. I must say that I salute all the healthcare workers who are treating now for the last weeks for thousands of wounded people, and doing everything they can to build back better from the ashes of the genocide and massacre that happened in October 7th. But still, it's very difficult when the wounds are still open, and when our heart is literally still in Gaza with over 150 people abducted there. We must get them back here, and personally, that's my mission.
Dr. Hagai Levine, thank you for being with us today. Very much appreciate your time.
Thank you.